Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to work with loops in Azure Bicep. With this you can create multiple resources dynamically. So here I have a sample Bicep file. As you can see, this will deploy a storage account, and I have another file, and that is a PowerShell file. This will first create a resource group, and then it will deploy the Bicep file that I have. So first let's run this one and see what happens. So let me copy this and paste it here. This will create the resource group, as you can see, and then I'm going to deploy this one. Alright, the deployment is a success. So let me go to my Azure portal and to that resource group, and as you can see I have a storage account. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to work with loops. So for that you have to do something like this. You have to add two square brackets like this, and then you have to apply the loop expression. So it's going to be a for loop, and I'm going to use a variable like this one as the index, and then in Azure Bicep there's a function named range, and with that I can pass the start index and the count, and then I'm going to add a colon like this so that it will range 10 times on this Bicep object. So I have added that, and now let's add this index to the name. You can do this with Bicep string interpolation like this, and I'm going to add I, and I'm going to save it here, and let's see what happens. And I'm running this again. Let me go to my resource group and refresh it. And as you can see, I have many resources in my resource group. Let's switch to summary view and type. And as you can see, I have 10 resources. Alright, now that you know how to work with basic loops, let me show you how to iterate over an array. So let me switch back to my VS Code. And as you can see, we have the simple code that we have wrote, and what I'm going to introduce now is a variable that contains 10 regions, as you can see. And then what I'm going to do now is change this range function to reference this regions variable I've just created. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this unique index, and I'm going to add something like loops here, because the unique index will exceed the character limit that we have for a storage account. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one as well, and I'm changing this location to use this index here. It's not the index, it'll basically, this I will change each time to these regions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change east to west to reference this I, and let's execute this and see what happens. Alright, now let's see what I have in my resource group. Yeah, as you can see, I have 10 resources, and let me switch from list view here to summary view. Yeah, as you can see, I have deployed 10 resources in 10 regions. One other thing that you should know with Bicep is that you can not only iterate over these variables, and you can still get the reference to the index as well. So let me show that now. First of all, I'm going to change this I to region. I think I should have done this earlier. So I'm going to paste the region here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two parentheses here, and introduce this index here. And then let's try to do something like this, so that in addition to region you're getting the index as well. And let's run it and see what happens. Let me switch to Azure portal again and click refresh. Yeah, as you can see, I have the resources I have created, and all of them have an index appended to the end of the name. And as you can see, it's 0 and 1 and goes like that, and this 2 1, and that's because it's East US 2. And if you want to learn more of this stuff, you can go to this link here. This will contain what I have just showed you. So basically the 3 ways of looping with Azure Bicep, and also you can do this with modules and properties and variables and outputs as well. All the basic concepts remains the same. Hope you learned something new today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave down below. And if you want to be updated with what I'm doing, you can subscribe to my channel as well. And thanks for watching.